you're somebody who actually, you're a scientist who worked on this kit, right? Can you tell our viewers, how is it that these Ayurvedic pills are going to cure COVID-19?
Sonal, I heard you, all the good background you generated and you got from different media, whether it's a print media or from the electronic media. But I would like to re-emphasize that the two things which are important that I would like to bring it out to you and to the whole viewer of NDTV, which I'm thankful that you called me on for, that I clarify, I emphasize and re-emphasize that Coronil indeed is the evidence-based Ayurvedic medicine for COVID-19.
Okay,
and
what
when we
is that
say the
evidence?
word COVID-19, the COVID-19 and its evidence means that we have conducted a very well detailed controlled clinical trials, which you generally do for the pharma industry. In Ayurveda, most of people do not really conduct that. Those trials are certified by the Institutional Ethics Committee. They are there on the CTRI, which is a Clinical Trial Registry of India. They are also there on the WHO website for the
Okay, let's just take a pause button here. Let's just take a pause button here, doctor, because I want to go into details one by one, okay? So I'll throw some rapid fire questions at you and it'll be nice if you can answer that, okay? You talked about trials. Let me start by asking that. How many people have you conducted these clinical trials for Coronil for?
The controlled clinical trial, which we call double-blinded placebo-controlled clinical trial, it has been conducted for the 100 people which were part of the study. And that data is there in the public domain as well. And that paper was also shown in the press conference that we conducted on 19th of February that you talked about.
Okay. So you have conducted, I'm just getting that answer again. You've conducted this trial on 100 people, and I have some details which said that it happened in Delhi and Meerut. Only two people, only two places.
No, that's the reason I'm trying to tell you, Sonal. I think sometimes it's good to get your facts right. This trial was conducted in Jaipur and it's already published in a journal called Phytomedicine, which is there in the public domain. Anyone can go and read that. It is there.
Okay. So what are you trying to, in these trials, were these done on people who are all healthy, are young, or did you do it in the format where even those with comorbidities, even those who are older people, they were tested with these kits? So
to answer this question, this trial was conducted in the people who were asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, and they were admitted in the COVID facility of the NIMS hospital. And they were given this medication. I also want you to understand that this trial was conducted in the month of June. The plan happened in the month of May, where the corona was at its max. That time conducting the trial was the topmost priority. And I really want to say that this is again a registered trial. Anyone can go on the website and check it out on CTRI and also through IAC.
Okay,
various parameters, the data is also there on the public domain.
And these are all people who had COVID and you tested them on COVID positive people?
All the patients who were part of the trial were COVID positive certified by RT-PCR, and our primary target was to look for the rate of the recovery on those patients. One thing I would like to again say it again, in Ayurveda, generally placebo-controlled trials not done. Patanjali Research Institute in collaboration with NIMS University did the placebo-controlled trial, where you make the dummy tablet, which does not have the medication, but they look and feel like the normal medication. Those were given of half of the patients.
I understand that. Let me then ask you this. So a lot of vaccines that have come in as a cure at this point, not really as a cure, as something of a prevention of sorts, they develop antibodies. Are you saying that Coronil will give people antibodies? No, we are never saying so. And that's the reason I think I have a very humble request to you and to everyone who is listening to it, to decode the science behind the disease and its working or its medication should be left to the scientists and the doctors. Coronil does not give antibodies because it is not designed or made for it. This is a classical Ayurvedic medicine, contains 3 plants which have been used by most of people across centuries. Even you would have used as well in past. Tulsi, Giloy and Ashwagandha. 3 plants, that's all it is. Okay. And is there an efficacy data that you can produce if you're saying you've done trials, even if it is on just 100 people? That's the reason. Please go back to a phytomedicine paper and you can read all data about it. It is detailed. It's talked about the rate of recovery. It also tells about the cytokines level in the serum of the patients who has been given Coronil or who has not been given the components of Coronil. So the trial was done with the 3 individual plants and as well as the 2 components you showed in the kit beautifully. Thank you for showing that. Swasaribati and Anutela. Okay. I also want to understand, and lots of questions on, you are saying you've done the trial, NIMS is saying they've helped you on it. Now there's an FIR against you and NIMS as well for even making these claims. But has there been, is this study and been peer reviewed?
Of course, the Phytomedicine is a peer-reviewed journal, Impact Factor 4.2, published by Elsevier.
Okay, so it has been peer reviewed, you're saying?
It is peer reviewed and published. I really request you to go back and check it over there. And not only this, we have also found the mode of action, how these medications work. And on that basis, we went ahead and actually requested for the license update. So we know the components of this medication does affect the interaction of the COVID virus with the human cells. And that data is also peer reviewed, and it is out there in the press like in next couple of days.
Can you tell me who reviewed it and when? I mean, I'm also educating myself on this one. We'd love to do a fact check.
I really like. Yeah, please repeat your question if you can.
Could you tell me who's reviewed this? Who's peer reviewed this entire study?
Peer reviewed are done in a blinded manner by the journals. We are not allowed to know who are the reviewers for the paper that we submit. We submit this paper to the Phytomedicine journal. The editor of the journal actually chooses who is going to review it. All I can tell you is that this paper went through the 3 review cycles, and after the 3rd review cycle, it was accepted by the journal and it came in the press.
Okay.